With only a single night's stay, we tried to squeeze in as much as possible. So, about Yellowstone. It is probably the most unique national park there is. It's because of the geothermal features, geysers, hot springs, mud pots. More than half of the world's active geysers are in Yellowstone. Yellowstone is actually a supervolcano, also referred to as a caldera. Parts of the land actually rises a couple of inches a year. The last caldera eruption was around 640,000 years ago. Let's just hope it doesn't erupt anytime soon. The color you see in and around the hot spring is actually from living microbes, which thrive in the hot environment. And these hot springs are all over the park, and it even flows into the lake. Look at the crystal clear blue color of this pool and the steam it produces. But don't try to stay in the steam for too long, because you will smell the hydrogen sulfide and it may make you dizzy and sick. Basically, it smells like rotten eggs. Now, onward to the most beautiful hot spring in the world, the Grand Prismatic. During peak times, parking is very limited and you may have to park alongside the road, like almost a mile away even. You will first be greeted to the Excelsior Geyser, a large pool of blue color which is kind of dormant right now. To bring out the vibrant colors of the spring, it's best to go see this during a bright sunny day. If it's a cloudy day, I would definitely wait for a sunny day instead. There are two areas that you can view the spring from, one at ground level and the other at a higher elevation. The Grand Prismatic Spring is so large that it's not fully appreciated from ground level. You will know what I mean once you view it from above. I will stress again, view it on a sunny day. I've seen it during a cloudy day and a sunny day, and it's very different. In order for you to view it from above, you have to park at the Fairy Falls Trail parking lot, then hike from there, and it's about a mile hike. You can't miss it with all the people parking and walking around there. Look at those ants walking around there. You can probably say that the Old Faithful area is like the main hub, with lunch, gift shops, dining, or even rent a bike. We simply hike the trail to view the various geysers and pools. Since it was late July, most of the wildlife stayed out of sight. You would have to go during cooler weather to see them up and about. During the hot summer months, your best chance is to probably see them in the evening or early in the morning. The eruption intervals varies from hours to days to even months. You just have to be lucky or come back at the estimated time frame that it can erupt. Yellowstone has more than 10,000 thermal features, so I will try to only show you a few. The Morning Glory Pool is probably one that you should see while you're in Old Faithful. It used to be blue in the middle, and from time to time the park has to drain the pool and remove items that people throw in there. Biscuit Basin is one of the many areas to view the pools, and it also serves as a trailhead for Mystic Falls later on. Water temperatures within some of these springs exceed the boiling point. Sunlight shines into the clear waters, and the blue color is scattered the most, which is why we see blue, like the ocean or the lakes. An easy hike to Mystic Falls is only about a mile from Biscuit Basin. Almost half the time you'll be hiking along the Little Firehole River, so it's a pretty scenic hike. For waterfall photography, you really want to have a cloudy day to avoid the harsh sunlight, but today it's unavoidable. I like this type of waterfall where it can provide different layers of silky smooth texture. Ooh, Attack of the Chipmunks. Huh, cute little fella. I tried to find different compositions, but this 14mm wide-angle bulb lens won't allow me to attach an ND filter, and with the harsh sunlight I could hardly get any shutter speed lower than 1/20th of a second. For this water flow speed, I would like it to be around half a second. Now, comparing this to 7 years ago, Alan, a friend of mine, took this photo of me in the waterfall, and I loved this composition and the even light that it provided. Too bad his shutter speed was 200th of a second, but he was using his telephoto 70 to 200. Half a second handheld was out of the question 7 years ago. He's probably cussing, "Look at this fool ruining my composition." Mammoth Hot Springs. It doesn't have much in the way of geysers, but it does have a collection of hot springs with terraces made up of travertine deposits. Look at the layers of terraces that gives the life to these microbes. Mammoth is kind of finicky with its hot springs. The underground water flow changes from time to time, and it left a lot of Mammoth barren as a result. I remember 7 years ago, there were a lot more springs around. During a bright sunny day, there wasn't much of composition to photograph. But if it was a fully cloudy day with a hint of rain, and with the dry, barren landscape, it could provide a very unique, dreary, ominous feeling look. Like this photo I did 7 years ago as a black and white. You can view the waterfall from the northern rim or the southern rim. Both will provide a nice view, you can't go wrong with either one of them. They will also have a nice hiking trail along the rim too. But since we're short on time, we had to skip it. Since I lost all of my GoPro footage for the entire trip, this video is mostly taken from my Canon 5D Mark IV, and some of it from my brother's iPhone. As you can tell, the 5D Mark IV isn't made for video, but at this point I'll settle for anything. Lewis Falls wasn't on my itinerary, we just happened to stumble onto it while driving. And my brother couldn't wait to get into the river. He has the place all to himself. I could have done a low-angle shot of the foreground rocks with the waterfall in the background, but I was too lazy to bring my telephoto. As we were walking around back at Old Faithful near sunset, the thought of taking a sunset photo didn't even occur to me at the time. Strange, huh? How can a landscape photographer not even account for a sunset in his itinerary? I was scrambling trying to find a composition for the sunset, but it was already too late. I missed it. I could only manage this. Someone please revoke my photographer's card. While filming the Old Faithful eruption, I wish I had taken a photo right at this point with the morning glow of the sun beaming down onto the smoke in the building in the background. But I was too eager for the eruption. And while waiting for the eruption, over to my right there was a huge eruption in the far distance. I don't know which geyser it is, but it looks like a big one. Seven years ago, my friend Alan woke up to take a really nice sunrise shot, while I wanted to sleep in. Bad mistake. This time I am borrowing his composition. The GoPro footage of how and where I took the sunrise photo was lost, I'm afraid. This is the photo that Alan took. It was the end of May when it was still cold with wintry conditions, hence the frost on the ground was amazing. I took two photos here, one with and without the walking trail. The one without the walking trail is simpler, less distracting. The one with the walking trail provided some leading lines, but it's more distracting. However, it does have more pronounced steam vents coming from the ground, providing definition to the scene. But I decided in the end to keep them both.